It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Vinny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
That's what we try to do. That's what we do every Wednesday. It's that time again, Cats Talk Wednesday, courtesy of the BS3 Network. We got tournament hoops to talk about, TV, in the middle of the summer.
That's right.
Terry TV Brown, Vinny Hardy here. Cats Talk Wednesday, streaming live on Twitter. Follow us at Cats Talk Wednesday, Facebook page, and YouTube is my YouTube. So follow, subscribe, and jump in here. Get in the comments. We talking Final Four in July. Cats cards. Former Cat Cameron Mills is coming on any minute. We got a lot of stuff going on this midsummer evening, man.
Let's talk about the TBT, baby.
I'm so happy they won the ticket contest, which meant they got the host. I'm cool that it was in Rupp these few games. But I'm like, oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that, this team gets to go on the road. And it played out just like we thought it would, like it usually always does. And it was in Freedom Hall. I mean, your arena. You grew up.
I grew up going to Freedom Hall. That's correct. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Parents had season tickets. We went to all those Metro Conference games in Freedom Hall. It's a great venue. It is a great venue. Kentucky won a Final Four there in 58, if I'm not mistaken, or 59. Something. Anyway, they whatever. Couldn't script it any better, man. I mean, from the way the game went to a Harrison brother hitting a three to seal the deal, it was all you could want as a Kentucky fan.
Did we trail? Did we? I don't think no.
I don't think so.
It wire to wire.
It just got to the point where I realized them some old legs out there. When they got to the Elam ending and they needed 6 points for about 5 minutes of gameplay. I was like, oh, them old legs, y'all got to have to grind this out because them legs ain't what they used to be. I get that.
Struggling for a minute, yes.
Look, man, this is all I got to say. No, I got a lot to say about this. Pre-game, it was TBT day in my hometown of Louisville. At the game, the mayor of Louisville was there, and they had all these former Louisville players there, and a lot of pomp and circus. They had Daryl Griffiths there throwing the L's up, and it's 12, 13,000 people, a lot of Louisville fans, and it is jumping. It is jumping, and they ready for the TBT because Kentucky got to come to Freedom Hall.
That's right.
And we got something for you. The Ville is back, baby.
Tickets. Yes.
The Ville is back, baby. They were ready. But they're going to take down the Cats. That's what they said. And then the game happened. Kentucky wins. And now it's not that big a deal.
Just brushing aside.
Y'all, it's always y'all take this too seriously. When in the build up to that game, y'all gonna see we got Russ Dickolas, we got Peyton Siva, we got Montrezl Harrell. We ready for you. Okay, cool. And then, look, man, I'd say it all the time. Is it a rivalry or is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of Louisville fans on my timeline, mad. And I'm like, why y'all mad? When it comes to men's basketball, is this not the outcome that's the standard?
It is.
This is what happens every time, with a few exceptions, over the last 15 years of the rivalry.
Yep.
Kentucky's more talented. Kentucky gets out to a little bit of a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville decides to muck it up.
Preach.
With grabbing, clutching, with bad behavior. They clutch it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to have a rock fight to end the game. It's just the difference between I think as far as like, yeah, I'll say sports hatred. The difference between Louisville and Kentucky is North Carolina and Duke is one, the Duke North Carolina games are always aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
You got games in the 80s. You don't have this clutching and grabbing. You don't have this where it just gets ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that.
Uh-huh.
Right? But the Kentucky Louisville, it's always a rock fight. I can't think of a game that was pleasing to watch. Even when Kentucky's won by 30 points, it's just not aesthetically pleasing. It's just these grinded out games that if you're not a fan, it's a little tough to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's never good basketball. But that's what happens every time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Louisville wins, but keep in mind when Louisville wins during the regular collegiate season, it's only a 2 or 3 point game. Like Louisville does not blow Kentucky out.
Mm-hmm.
They've never won 3 straight in the series. The last time they won back-to-back games was 08 and 09. And since then, they've won.
Who's coaching then?
The Billy G.
Yeah.
And just like the Olympic Committee, when the U.S. Olympic team lost in 88, the response was the Dream Team. And just like Billy G never beat Louisville, our response was, now you got to deal with John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe. Like that's what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So since Louisville won back-to-back games, they have won 3 times since. 3. We are on our 4th presidential election in the same time frame. Okay. Hopefully we're going to have our 4th different president in that time frame. They are on their 5th coach in that time frame. So y'all should be used to this.
Yeah.
But all this pregame hype. Oh, they bringing the doctors a dunk back. They all for the TBT. It's going to be awesome. And then when Kentucky wins, why y'all taking this so serious? This is the highlight of y'all summer.
Yeah.
And it's like, just take an L. Like, I've said it and I'm going to keep saying it. It can't be a rivalry when your team wins, but it's not that big a deal when your team loses in a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, because you see the Duke and Carolina people, it means something when their team loses.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't mean that much, then keep it moving. Then we're not rivals. That's fine. Mm-hmm. If we decide, Kentucky fans, it's Tennessee is a rival or whoever, I'm fine with that. But it can't be a rivalry only when your team wins.
Mm-hmm.
Now the women's basketball, Coach Walls is on like 7, 8 in a row.
Yeah.
Now when the women's team wins, Coach Walls owns the rivalry. Or is it a rivalry then?
Uh-huh.
The rivalry is not coach specific. It is not player specific. It's not sport specific. Mm-hmm. It is not outcome specific.
Yeah.
Because hear him tell it, again, this is the football game, right? We got Braum on the sideline. He know how to get it done. He from here. He played here. He know what's up. We 10-2. We in the ACC. We might even make the playoff. That's what they said beforehand.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right? And then my man James Strebel, ESPN 680 in Louisville, retweeted something about the football game last year, and basically it was like how Kentucky pushed them around, pushed Louisville around, and then a bunch of Louisville fans responded with, "Well, we outgained you in yardage, and like had a higher 3rd down conversion rate." That is loser talk.
You should be embarrassed to even think about saying that, much less say it like that's your argument.
Kentucky didn't even deserve to win the game. And my thing is, the only thing I know about sports, did you score more points than your opponent? That's all that matters. That's it. That's all that matters. Like, I am not an Eli Manning fan, but he got them Super Bowl chips. He got them 2 rings, and you got to give it to him.
Yeah.
But in sports, that's all that matters. Well, we had more turnovers than y'all, and that's part of it. Did you score more points? And even when the game was close, I'm like, Kentucky gonna win this. I don't know when there's been a football game that I'm like, I don't think Kentucky can win this. Even the game 2 years ago in Lexington, it was ugly and it was a rock fight, but I'm like, yeah, Kentucky got this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but hear them tell it, Kentucky didn't deserve to win. The rivalry isn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
It's not that intense.
Like I know, look, and it's okay. It is okay, Louisville fans. It's okay that 2014 hurt your feelings. It's okay. Because that Cats Classic account, I don't know if you remember that 2014 matchup up in Indy in the Sweet 16, defending champion Louisville and underachieving Kentucky, and Louisville went up big, and there's that screenshot with all those people tweeting out, Patino's schooling Cal, and this is the difference between college guys and people trying to get all this kind of slick talk. And then yay, verily, Aaron Harris hit that 3, and next thing you know, the Cardinals crying on the sideline. Mm-hmm. And I've had good for. Well, that game could have gone. No, man.
Because when they was up like 32-14 or something, wasn't it?
It was something. It was something ridiculous. Like there was because I remember I was at my former in-laws in Cincinnati watching this game. We had just played Wichita State, which is still one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Not anticipating that in the second round, right?
Right.
And Louisville gets down big, and I'm like, okay, if this is how it ends, we got them in the 2012 Final Four. If it goes this way, I'm making peace with it. And then they start clawing back, and I'm like, we might win this game. Mm-hmm. That's when Russ had a dunk in that game that Louisville fans like. I'm like, and then what happened? He had a dunk during the regular season matchup too, but I'm like, these are in losing efforts. What are we doing here? Right?
Yeah. It's like James Young. Like James Young against UConn.
Right. Yeah. For me, that's great, but I'm not making an argument to UConn like, you see this? And they're like, we like, that's not an argument if your team loses the game. That's a fun thing to talk about amongst yourselves. Like I will still, I know that there's the one dunk that all Kentucky fans, I'm trying to remember who, that had the one dunk in Rupp where he kept going up and up and up. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on that. Somebody's going to correct me on that. But for me, the James Young dunk.
It's about like Dirk Minifield.
Yeah, the Minifield dunk.
Oh, right? Yeah.
That's that for a certain group. That's their dunk. The James Young dunk is mine, right? And I know because luckily I didn't at that moment. I think that put us within like 6 or 8, maybe. I would have bet the farm we was going to win. Glad I didn't because I would have lost the farm. But the point is, I'm not going to get in this discussion with a UConn person and be like, well, we had this good dunk.
Yeah,
okay.
No, we got to be embarrassed to even think about saying that because that refutes nothing. The fact that we outgained you, we had more passing yards, our completion percentage, but that so. And I hate that James Young dunk. I couldn't even allow myself to enjoy it because they were trailing and it was nervous and I couldn't even savor it in the moment. I was like, oh, okay.
I thought that was I thought we were going to win that. I honestly, I thought that we were. And see, there also the thing is talking about, since Cal, under Cal's regime, only those 3 wins, but the overall record is 39 wins for Kentucky, 17 for Louisville.
Yeah. I mean, double.
So that's 22.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 22 advantage. So that is, as you like to point out, when it comes to Tennessee, where it's going to be like the year 3000 if they would catch up with us in wins basketball. That's 2046. If Louisville won every matchup between now and 2046 to even it up.
Yeah.
It ain't just because of Cap.
Mm-hmm.
As I said to you, if Kelsey wins this first game against Kentucky this year, December, I believe, right? 30th? Whatever.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He'll be the first U of L coach since like 1958, 59 to have a winning record against Kentucky. Now, granted, there was a stretch that they didn't play.
Yeah.
However, the stretch when they started playing includes 2 Hall of Fame coaches.
I guess Denny started 1-0, and then it, got away from him.
Yeah. So there's not, and that's my whole point is nothing about what happened in the TBT should be new.
Right.
The news is when Louisville wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's the news.
Yeah.
Because when Kentucky win, ho hum, you keep it going. It's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Everything about Monday night was typical.
So a couple of questions about Monday night. Who was Nate Sestina yelling at? Like, I watched Nate Sestina his entire year at Kentucky, clips at Bucknell. I've never seen him as demonstrative as he was after every one of those shots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he was yelling at, but it was somebody, and it was personal.
Yeah.
So to that point, Rick Bozich, writing for WDRB out of Louisville, talking about how tempers flared at the end of the game. And his concern is, we have seen some fisticuffs back and forth and words about, from the coaches and players. And he thinks there's going to be an eruption just of Kentucky, Louisville in general. There's been, and I'm like, well, you had Petrino call all the Kentucky fans, Kentucky players, a bunch of bleeping Smurfs, right? And y'all celebrated that.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude that spit on Nate Sestina, I can't believe we were having this dialogue on social media, is spitting on someone wrong. Like, spitting is so gross.
Mm-hmm.
You spit on somebody, the expectation should be it's time to throw hands. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happened Monday night, a lot of this stuff, the L1C4, do we know it was spit? And like, there's a whole video. We all see it. We all know what's going on. And then Owaku, defending himself, was like, well, and I'm going to be a little blue here. His defense was, Nate Sestina called me a bitch. Well, I don't know who else watched that game on Monday night. The mics picked up a lot of stuff. There was a lot of that kind of stuff back and forth on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't condone it, but I've played basketball places, and sometimes it be like that.
Nope.
Like, we can't be Pollyannish because some people are saying the B word. Like, Michael Jordan called Muggsy Bogues a effing midget. Like, I mean, like this goes hand in hand. And then his article, the whole L's up, L's down kind of thing. Look, I'm gonna be very clear about this. If you have a hand gesture that you and your fans use when you win, and when you win, you put that gesture in people's faces, the universe dictates when you lose, it's coming back on you.
Mm-hmm.
The entire sports world always clowns Texas because I think they effectively did it in the Big 12, but they tried to come in the SEC with extra penalties for horns down. It's like, no, man. If you go to Gainesville and you whoop them up with the Gators like we have done, you're going to get the chomp.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You go to Austin, you beat the Longhorns, horns down.
Nope. No doubt.
And then it's just Kentucky fans that do it. No, last year during whichever bowl game Texas and Washington played, they announced like the All-American humanitarian team or something. And this offensive lineman from Oklahoma, he's supposed to be humanitarian, all this kind of stuff. They said, here he is. And the Texas fans booed. And that's the thing too, is Louisville fans, a lot of them, and so are their media folks, try to make it sound like Kentucky fans were either obsessed with them or we're the only ones that do the hand gestures in somebody's face. And I'm begging y'all to watch Texas, Oklahoma when Oklahoma wins. I'm begging y'all to see what happens when Texas A&M and Texas play. Please, please, please. I'm begging you.
Mm-hmm.
When Florida State play, Florida State win, they doing a chomp.
Mm-hmm.
Florida win, they doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's universal.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a sign, it's coming back on you. And I don't understand the pearl clutching, because I have seen Louisville win. It's been rare in basketball. I'll give you that.
Yes.
We haven't seen a lot of L's up in men's basketball.
Right.
But when they do win, I've seen it. I have to get in my Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine when it comes to football. I assume they throw L's up when they win, but it's been a while. So I don't know if even L's up was a thing the last time they won.
Oh, yeah. The last time they won football?
2017. November 2017, the same day, the same month, I met my wife in person.
Mm.
Since we have been together, Louisville has not won any football games.
Man.
And we're getting ready to celebrate our 3rd anniversary by the time the game's played this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we met, we dated, we were engaged for a year. We moved. I've moved twice. Like, we've had 2 kids graduate high school. Like, look at all the stuff in my life that's happened.
Right. Yeah. And
was Louisville even the ACC last time they won? I don't know. I don't know how these things go. I know it's been a while for football.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about a rivalry, it shouldn't matter, because they'll tell you this with football, the Satterfield era doesn't count. Right? I know you've seen that. Oh, yeah, just like the Cragthorpe era didn't count.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all counting them Billy G's? Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you we didn't like that coach, so those wins don't count. No, that's not how it works. It's not what a rivalry is.
Selectively petty.
Why are you so obsessed with us, man? Like, what? like sports. I say it all the time. Sports are dumb, inconsequential, but I buy into it because I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But if we say you're involved in sports and you have sports rivalries, then yes, you are going to know what's going on with your rivals. Like, what? You're a Cowboys fan. You ain't picked up on any Washington news to rib them with, or any Philadelphia stuff. Yeah. You enjoy the sports downfall of your rivals.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a 49ers fan, but did you enjoy when they beat the brakes off the Eagles?
Yeah, that was, I did, yeah, because I don't, that's one of those. I don't know. As a Niners fan, I don't. Do you have teams that you hate equally? That, like, if it's Tennessee and Duke in basketball, that's one of those that are conflicted. If Tennessee and Louisville are playing, I'm like, ugh. But I think I did. I was glad to see the Eagles lose, because y'all did break them. Y'all started the downward spiral for them last year.
I responded to Rich Eisen putting it out there, basically, his previewing the season, like, what happened to Philadelphia? They got punked. They were 10-1, and they were up. Again, the Niners had -2 yards in the first quarter. Total offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow. And then they scored touchdowns on the next 7 possessions. Like, they look, I say in jest that they broke the Eagles last year.
Mm-hmm.
But the Niners, I'd forgotten until the wife reminded me. I forgot they showed up in all black for the Eagles funeral at Lincoln Financial Field.
Y'all did. Y'all did.
Yeah, Debo decided we showed up in all black because
Mm-hmm.
they beat us in the NFC Championship game because Purdy got hurt.
Oh yeah.
And
you was playing quarterback in the second half of that game.
And when they tried to give CMC the quarterback, I was like, oh, that's a wrap. I got in the bourbon because I'm like, maybe I didn't even know Josh Johnson was the backup.
Yeah.
You could have asked me right then. I thought it was different Josh Johnson other than the one that had played for 20 teams in the NFL. But I Googled, I was like, all right, it's the same one. I didn't know he was still in the league. Like, I had no concept of who the backup to Purdy was. Like, it never entered my mind. And Kate, the wife, was asking me, I'm like, I don't know. And then he got concussed. And I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles, the 49ers whole thing was like, hey, if Purdy doesn't get hurt, we probably win. And the Eagles took offense to that. Okay. And Debo and them said, we got a healthy quarterback. And Debo was like, can't none of y'all guard me. And all he did was score 3 touchdowns. And one of them he caught at his own 40, shook people off, like running, like they broke the Eagles. They tried to do some garbage stuff. And we're not like, no, y'all not scoring no garbage stuff on us. We embarrassed. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to go the rest of the season after that molly whooping. They were 10-1.
Couldn't get right.
Up like 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then the wheels fell off because 49ers broke them.
It was like Doug Williams on Denver in the Super Bowl. Y'all just kept.
Yeah. and they had set up plays because was it Hassan Whiteside, the dude that hurt Purdy in the NFC Championship game. Oh, they did him dirty. I'm gonna have to send you some clips. Brian Baldinger broke it down. He was like this because the Eagles like to, and they did plays where it was. I'm trying to remember how it went, but Whiteside's coming, Kittle pops him. He's like, okay, and then Banks, the left guard comes, boom, hits him full speed, bam, bam. Then another play, Kittle pops him. He's in this space. And that was Kittle's touchdown. They ran plays at that dude.
They worked him.
Yeah. And all that dude and all of the defense Trent Williams did him like he did Micah Parsons.
Oh, see.
And they were just like, we don't want anything to do with this.
No.
And that's fine. Look, Micah Parsons is great. He's great. He can call Purdy a system QB all he wants to. All I know is I watched the game last year, and outside of the introductions, I thought that dude was injured.
Yeah.
I was like, is he out there?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, he out there. Okay, cool. So I bask in this because I don't know when the wheels will fall off for the 49ers. But when it comes to NFC teams, but I'm enjoying it right now. But the point is it a rivalry? Is it not? It can't be a rivalry for Coach Walls and Louisville's women, when they win, he owns the rivalry. Oh, it is a rivalry. And then you can't be bothered when men's basketball and football and baseball and whoever, like, it can't be that.
Mm-hmm. You can be picking and choosing.
And when you lose, don't bring out the stat sheet. Well, the effective field goal percentage of the Cardinals shot. What do you get? Like
that's embarrassing. I mean, it really is. too.
hit them with these numbers. Like, we had time of possession. Get out of my face with this.
It's to even say that with a straight face and expect. I mean,
so that was a good Monday thing. The TBT team, it's crazy because it's like all these guys are playing, but I'm like, did anybody play together? And I was like, oh yeah, Willie played with the twins, and it just, James Young, like, they're all kind of different, but it's like they all didn't play together. Like, that's weird. It's like looking at the men's Olympic team and realizing that Booker, Bam, and AD didn't play together.
Mm-hmm.
And they all played at Kentucky within 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Five.
Yeah,
2012, 2017, Bam.
14 and 15.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. But way to go. They're on the way to Philadelphia for a Final Four. We got to start giving the Harrisons a little bit more love. All they do is show up and take Kentucky to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Like, we need to give them their flowers. Like, I don't know why they aren't more highly regarded, but back-to-back Final Fours with a national runner-up ain't bad.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as things go, and the things they did positively, we would have loved to see them the last couple of years in Kentucky. Clutch shooting and ball handling. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Aaron, I'm like, how do people not like him? Because I get goosebumps every time that clip comes across my timeline with Jim Nantz. This is the point where he always hits. Like, that's a moment, man.
Yeah.
But that's the TBT. But the Olympics going on.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Olympics. I don't usually beat my chest in America too much, but I love the Olympics, and I will watch anything and go USA. I'm into rugby. The women's rugby team got a bronze with a last-second score. Like, you tell me it's last second. I don't understand how the scoring works, but you tell me it's a last-second play, I'm going for it. All right, awesome.
I don't understand how the defense works, because it's like you tackle them and you just throw it to somebody else and the play keeps going. I'm like, how do they ever get a stop? Anybody ever get a stop?
I don't know. But I'm watching that.
Because I took you down, Terry, but then you just squib out a little pass to somebody else, and there they go.
I've got friends that played for the Kentucky club rugby team, and I went to some game. Like, I don't know what this is, man. It's one of those things. My mind, like, I've got all the minutia of like football and basketball, a little bit of baseball. I can't pick up on that for rugby. I try to tell the girls with lacrosse and field hockey, like, I know the chapter and verse of when the NFL is like, what's a catch? I understand that. Like, but I can't understand the minutia, all this other stuff, right? But America, the American men, gymnastics, boom, they showing out, first medal in 16 years. The women, Simone Biles, is basically like, if she show up, she ain't losing.
Mm-hmm.
She's got 5 like moves named after her. She's like, I'm gonna do me. And the whole thing is, I don't know if you know how they score in gymnastics, but you tell them what you're going to do beforehand.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that sounds pretty difficult.
Right.
You get a difficult score. The thing is, what Simone Biles is capable of is so far above everybody else. All she got to do is not fall. And even if she falls, it's still going to be close. Like, how demoralizing is that to be like, all my competitors got to do is show up. So when we start talking about greats of their sport, like just great athletes, I mean, she's on that short list of the rules are different for her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting in the MJ LeBron stuff, right? I'm talking about people so good, they had to change the way the sport was played, to even the playing field. I'm talking about Wilt widening the lane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Kareem and Duncan.
Mm-hmm. Outlawed it.
We're taking Duncan out because that guy is too good. That's insane to me.
Oh, for real? Okay, let me just hit y'all to the sky hook then. All right, then.
Yeah, but like
I can't dunk. Okay, all right. Then.
And you would see if you watch those clips at UCLA, he'd go up and he just drop it in.
Yeah,
but you've got to put Simone Biles up there because it's like, because we talk about Jordan 6-0, 6-0, which is whatever. But it wasn't like the teams didn't have a shot of winning, right?
Sonics had a shot. Well, the Jazz had a.
I stay so happy that the Bulls kept the Jazz and those two dudes from winning championships. God bless you. That'd be my thing of the last dance. Thank you for keeping the Jazz ringless.
Exactly. Who they beat? They beat the Jazz. They beat the Suns.
They beat the Lakers in 91, Trailblazers in 92, Suns in 93. In 96 it was the Sonics, and in 97, 98 it was the Jazz. But I love the Olympics, man. I'm watching all this stuff. Swimming, great. That Katie Ledecky won again. Man. We are a pro Kate and Katie podcast. And like she could come back and win in 4 years again because no one's getting close to her.
Yeah. She said she was thinking about it. She already looking at it.
My favorite clip of these last couple Olympics is usually when you watch the swimming, it's everybody in this tight view. NBC has to go to the all 22 because there's always that shot, and I loved it from her gold medal performance today. She going one way, everybody else going the other way.
It's crazy.
That is insanity.
It is.
Like, that's got to be disheartening to be a world-class athlete. And you going this way, and you see someone at the corner of your eye, like, and by the time you finish, she leaning like this. She's dry.
Yeah,
she dry. Like
this
she got the cap off. She got the goggles off. She kicking back. She got some Gatorade. She taking selfies, and it's still going on. 17 seconds is a long time.
I mean, this ain't Jim Thorpe dominating like a man among boys or turn of the 20th century stuff. Whereas everybody got the best of the best nutrition and training facilities and just work and grind and hone your craft, and then somebody can still be that far above the field. That is it's crazy.
The top 20 times in that 1,500 meter swim for Katie Ledecky, she's got the top 20 finishes.
Just literally competing against herself.
Today was her 8th best, and it was still like 15. Seriously, count out 15 seconds. That's a long time. And to be that far ahead for the last decade, like that is ridiculous. Like Simone Biles, USA champion 9 times. That's being the best for a decade.
She's just going to be like 30 in 4 years. Katie will be, I think, 30, 31. She's still.
That's insane to me. That's insane to me. So I'm watching, I'm watching some of the shooting things, and I'm watching all these different events, and a little bit of surfing. I'm all in, man. I love the Olympics. We got the Peacock app. We will watch different events. Tonight, I'm gonna rewatch the men's game from earlier against South Sudan. Winyan Gabriel, baby. There's cats all over the place, man.
Yeah. I
love Winyan Gabriel.
Yeah. I like Winyan, man. But there was a clip. There was a clip. Somebody took a picture. I forget who retweeted it. It was Winyan was guarding Booker, and AD was trailing the play, and Bam was the only cat not pitcher, but it was just, in the Olympics, cats. USA, South Sudan, across the board. And South Sudan, man, don't even have an indoor gym over there. and gave the United States all they wanted a couple weeks ago. Luol Deng, Winyan Gabriel. I mean, the stuff they've accomplished. They already beat Puerto Rico, who was established and had some good teams in the past. I mean, they got to be proud of what they've done, and with the lack of resources to just come up on the Olympics and do what they've done, man. That's
absolutely.
Man.
I know everybody was, when the U.S. won by 1 in the prelims and then did I talk about this last week? How I'm tired of the narrative always being about the Olympic men don't care.
Yeah, or about
did I talk about it last week?
Or how the gap closing, or is it not?
Well, America claims to be about winners. That's our ethos. And when it comes to international competition, nothing is more dominant than men's and women's basketball. Combined, since 1936, they've lost 12 total Olympic games between the two of them. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The men have lost 6 total. The women have lost 3 total. So that's 9 total. It's like it's like 200 something and 9. Like, you're not going to have a sure bet in sports than the Americans at basketball. Right? So what has happened is we've taken the 04 team, which if you ever look at that roster, it was not constructed with any kind of rhyme or reason to it, right?
Yeah.
The players have talked about it. The coaches have, that was an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because Allen Iverson was on it and Stephon Marbury. It's become this thing is the Americans don't care, right? It's me, and the rest of these teams play a different kind of basketball. And I want to say, what? Like, what are we talking about here? Again, it's like Kentucky versus Louisville. The news is when the American men don't win gold.
Mm-hmm.
Because 04 happened and USA basketball was like, we're not having that again. We've got a system. Coach K is going to be the permanent coach. We've got a whole pipeline. You've got to play in the FIBA America. Okay. And then when we do that, when we care and we take a little bit of effort, it's not close.
No. Even with triple the amount of players internationally been in the league, people trying to say, so
because what happens is this. Watching these Olympics, the last few go-arounds, is you end up with a situation like I didn't watch the Sudan game, but I watched the Serbian against Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's close. Serbia's got Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And it's kind of close. Oh, yeah. Kevin, are you ready? And Kevin Durant's like, sure. I'm going to go 8 for 8 for 20 points in the second quarter and blow the game open. Because that's what would happen previously. It'd be kind of equal. In 08, it was Dwayne Wade coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne, can you score us 15, 16 points a game off the bench? Sure, not a problem.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
And until these other teams get a 6th or 7th man like that.
Right.
Right? And that's my whole point. They haven't caught up. Did we honestly think that when the Dream Team was beating these teams by 50, did we think that was going to be the way it was going to be forever?
I think some people did.
Did we? Those weren't even games because their opponents trying to take pictures while the game going on. The coach is posing for pictures, at the Americans bench. I'm not lying. You've seen it.
Yeah.
So you have to factor if the other team actually plays, we're not going to beat them by 50.
Uh-huh.
Right? That was not sustainable.
No.
But we've been on this since 96 when the 40-point games became 20-point games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've caught up. And outside of one bad Olympics, they haven't.
Jason Tatum didn't even play the other day, right?
It's right. He didn't play.
He didn't play.
And I don't think Embiid played today. Somebody didn't play. I need to watch it to but that's what happens. If you look at the dream team, I think it was Stockton and Christian Laettner, like they didn't play.
Mm-hmm. Larry Bird was, his back was gone, like you said, and he didn't do much, nothing either. So
but the thing is with the international teams, those teams play together a lot.
Yeah.
And the Serbian team, they play, EuroLeague and whatever. So they're already a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the derogatory way we talk about Americans, because outside of Derek White, you've got 11 guys that can go get you 30 points if you ask them to.
Mm-hmm.
And people, well, they don't play. The problem is, I think at sometimes, and you see this in the All-Star game a lot, is that sometimes they're too unselfish. When it's like, don't overpass, just go get a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's got to be the focus is how do you, and we try to act like this is easy. Well, you just give it up for the team. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I give the benefit. You are a Jason Tatum, right? You've been the dude in the league for a while. You've just coming off a championship, and now you've got to adjust your mind to not playing or having to, do more passing than you're accustomed to. It takes a while to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a knock on these guys. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It
In a
just
short
is.
time,
right. And you have to figure out how all these pieces go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not ego. And that's why I keep saying, what's the benefit to the WNBA stars and NBA stars playing anymore?
Mm.
You're going to get ripped that you don't care,
Mm-hmm.
even though the women haven't lost an Olympic game since like 92.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, and the games haven't been close.
No.
I mean, they've had, I don't want to misquote this, but during the game, it's like, in this stretch, it's been like 15, 30-point wins. Like, it is insane when it comes to American basketball, but we don't get hyped up and beat our chest about it, and I don't understand it.
Only beat Japan by 26 the other day.
and it was close for a little bit, and I saw a lot of people, oh, this is why they should have Caitlin Clark on the team. Hold on. I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan as anybody, but let's just see how the game goes. And again, it's really good players figuring out how to play with each other. And it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball on the international, it's like, the soccer teams, the national teams. You got to play a lot of games to get a feel for your teammates. And that's just how it works.
Yeah.
It's not so much, the swim team, all you got to do is swim yourself, right? There's not like a cooperative, you don't have 8 people in the pool. You try to swim, right? Even the relays, there's only one person at a time. Basketball, you got to get 5 people moving in some kind of harmony. It takes time.
Yeah.
Even if you have the great players. So
you just show up and just,
But if I told you that the world's catching up to this team and you look and it's 148-6 is the all-time record, and 3 of those losses were in a disaster of a season. Like that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But that's they got to learn to share the ball. And it's like they get anyway. I need to get my blood pressure under control. But I love the Olympics. I'm gonna watch all of it as much as I can. The swimming, the diving, the
water polo. I mean, that's
and look, I love Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
And the water polo, that's a great story. He's showing up, taking a picture with the first lady. Like, I love it, man. I love Flavor Flav being there. I love Snoop.
Spike Lee's over there.
Spike Lee was at the men's gymnastics.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's there's Spike Lee, but he's also been at basketball. But I'm like, there's Queen Latifah over there. I love it, man. I love it. So I'll be like, what's Snoop Dogg? Hey, as a side note, we've never seen anything like Snoop Dogg in American history. That man was on trial for murder in 1993.
Yeah. Same year.
Or was it 94? 93, 94, right? Right when Doggy 94, when Doggy stopped. That man was on trial for murder. And here we are 30 years later, and he hanging around with Martha Stewart.
Oh.
His whole thing is, I'm Snoop Dogg. And it's great. I love it, man. We ain't never seen nobody bounce back like, oh, that's just Snoop. Like, oh, this Snoop Loop. He's good. Like, he's this whole thing into himself where you forget he was a very good rapper.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I don't know if I would put him in my top 10, but you can't deny for a moment his peak was hot. Doggy Style was hot.
Sure was.
But I love seeing that. And of course, Flavor Flav and Public Enemy, you know that they were Public Enemy was trouble when they talking about Elvis was a hero the most. There was pearl clutching in 1989. I know because I was here. And they said most of my heroes don't appear on the stamp. They meant that. They also told us 911 was a joke, but whatever. Yeah. So the point is, like, Flavor Flav went from being like other to here he is, Spike Lee. When he made Malcolm X, he was, he was that problem maker filmmaker, right? See him getting his flowers doing it. I love the Olympics. It's great. I love hearing the stories from, these small town Americans make it. I love the stories internationally. Like you were talking about South Sudan. They're a new country. There's no indoor gyms. Like that is insane to me.
Yeah. They're just not showing up at the park. They're playing at the Olympics. I mean,
that's crazy. That is, and it should show us, honestly, how much one person can make a difference. Because you got Luol Deng, that's funding this out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And then you see the impact that Tony Parker's had on French basketball. And I know we joke on Rudy, but he's really a good player.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 or 4 defensive players. Like, he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we and Boris Diaw, I think, was French too, if I'm not mistaken. I need to look that up, but it feels like it. But and now we got
Wemby, and all those just solid dudes that ain't even
right. And now we got Wemby. I don't know how you had a dunk in the first game France had. He from like a standstill, he jumped up from outside the lane and dunked a basketball. I didn't think that was. I'm like this. I got my calculator, my slide rule. You know how I get, and I'm like, what in the world? Look, got my old school graphic calculator. Like the matrices of is that even possible? So one person can make a difference. That's what I like about Flavor Flav and the water polo team. Water polo's won, like the women's team has won 3 straight gold medals, I believe. And he saw that they working these jobs, and he's like, I got y'all. And I'm like, if I was rich and famous, that's what I would do. And that's what I'm talking about. One person can make a difference. So there's that. But I love the Olympics. I'm all in on the Olympics.
Yeah, and you have a track and field starting up, and it's gonna be fun too. Sid's about to do her thing, and
yes,
so yeah, man.
She's reaching that Katie Ledecky thing where I think the top 3 or 4 times in those hurdles, it's all Sid.
Yeah.
Because she set that record of the Olympic trials, and she don't look pressed at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just kind of tinkering around, experimenting.
Because they're like, oh, she coasted. How the hell you coast? Like, so anyway, I'm excited about that. I really am excited about the Olympics. I like it. People getting upset over the opening ceremonies. I'm like, how many opening ceremonies have you watched?
I've missed quite a few, honestly.
They all do the same thing. The host country wants to show you their culture, wants to show you what they do. And from the outside looking in, it looks bizarre because it's not our culture. They're not attacking our culture. They're showing their culture. Me, that ain't a problem. I don't get it. Well, sometimes you don't. Like, sometimes you don't. I'm offended. Well, I mean, this is France. What do you expect about France? They different over there. Come on now. They're not going to come on. Because when the Olympics are in America in 2028, we're going to do some weird stuff that other countries are going to like. I looked up the 1984 Summer Games in LA. I looked up that opening ceremony. We had marching bands. We played country music. Like, it was just, this is America. And if you're on the outside looking in, you're probably like, what the hell is this? This is America. Like when Greece and they had the Olympics in Athens in 2000. Yeah.
Might have been our 04 or
Sydney was 2000. I can't remember now. But when Greece had like their opening ceremony is like a bunch of Greek god stuff. Because it's Greece.
Yeah.
Like what did you like? What are you trying to do? Anyway, I'm all here for it. It's great. Love the Olympics.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Stuff you don't even watch until it's Olympic time, but you glued to it.
Oh, I'm an expert now, man.
It's great.
I need to. Have you seen? I need to find this picture. It was a Turkish guy that came in silver. He got a silver medal in shooting, and it looks like he just showed up out the crowd. Like everybody else got special glasses and this. He just got a t-shirt on with a little thing with the Turkish flag on it. And he showed up and he was just pow pow pow.
Like Steve Bartman or something, man.
Like he just showed up out the crowd. Like he got regular glasses on. And that's a good story. I need more on that guy. Because everybody else is, I gotta have special equipment. That dude just was like, I guess I'm going over here and shoot.
Yeah. Sure.
It's like when you're at the basketball courts and you see somebody and like, oh man, he actually gonna play in Chuck Taylors and the old dudes give you buckets. Man. I've been way back. I'm saying old dudes. When I was younger, I'm talking about. I'm the old dude now. They got to stretch and smell like liniment. But I'm talking about way back when you be at the park, like, all right, pops, and he shoot it like this. He and he hit you with the mic and drill, and you're like, oh, while you busy laughing, he done won.
Ask if my dad played in Chucks, and that's it. And man, we 90s kids, man. So my long shorts, my latest kicks, my Nikes, my N1s, my whatever. And dad out there in his Chucks, man, throwing hook shots.
Yeah,
man. I was like, man, come on, Dad, get some, man. Try these out. No, he was not about to put on any of the athletic footwear that I was loving. Just Chuck Taylor's, man. Chuck Taylor, I kid you not. Posted up, and he was stronger than me. Trying to lift my little weights in 15, 16, and getting back right down and getting hook shot to death. So.
That's what I love about Jokic. Jokic's game is just like he everybody daddy. Like you, get the ball, look around. I'll back you down. Nothing you can do.
Mm-mm.
Or I'm gonna shoot it like this.
Yep.
Boom. And but it goes in.
Or I'll do some ridiculous pass and it'll be accurate that nobody else could even get to the guy, and I'll just throw it right over there.
But again, I love the Olympics. I'm gonna watch a bunch of random stuff. Caught badminton the other day, and I'm like, sure, why not?
Hey,
Ping pong, sure, why not?
And that's badminton. What we do ain't badminton compared to
No,
that.
that's badminton.
That's like 250 miles an hour on some of these returns for the. I'm gonna call it a birdie. So that's
And the thing about these Olympics, the backdrops, the beach volleyball in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower, it's just beautiful. And they've got all these games and these venues around Paris. Like, it's just beautiful. Show off your city a little. Like, it's just gorgeous watching that. Like, I love the whole spectacle and all that kind of stuff with the Olympics. I know it's problematic because they're expensive and there's corruption and but I love watching it as well. It's one of those things you can acknowledge, hey, this ain't perfect, but I'm gonna watch.
Exactly. I'm gonna watch the Olympics. I'm gonna watch LaFamilia in the Final Four Friday. They 2 wins away from that million. So good for them. Hope they can go ahead and bring that on home. 60 and 70,000 for most everybody, and then 15,000 for Brett in Canada. But hey, he's still got a chance to make 15 grand. He hit a game-winning free throw the other day in the first game. So hey,
that's what it's all about, man. I'm excited. Usually the summer's a little slow, but we got the Olympics, which is fantastic. The TBT, which is fantastic. Football training camps have started. And, as we turn the page to August, it's getting close to my birthday, which is next Monday. Because I got a lot of Cowboys fans. This is our year. That's when for the last 30 years, when training camp starts, when you're like, we them boys. Okay. All right. August is coming. All right. This is the year. All right. This one. Okay, cool.
It springs, hope springs eternal. I'm not very hopeful. I'm not as optimistic. I'm just going, windows open, windows close, and
we'll see how it goes. And
sometimes they got to show me. I'm just kind of waiting, like, y'all got to show me a little something because I'm not.
But you're not gonna stop being a fan.
No. But I'm not as, had high hopes last year, year before that, and the Niners busted both of those. So, as you know, it is. And like you said, the window's closed. You don't know. You said a minute ago, how long the 49ers window's going to last because eventually you're going to have to rebuild. It's just going – you got to go through it all and putting it together again to become a contender. And it feels like we slide in that direction more than we are challenging. I hope I'm wrong, but hey, we'll find out real soon.
It is what it is. I'm just giving you some trouble for the Cowboys, but
and next week, man, I had to get the answer. Maybe I tagged yourself, your lovely wife, and Adam Jacoby. My little hypothetical. If there was a wrestling tournament, the equivalent of the basketball tournament, would Iowa and Iowa State, because that's they the ones that's more championships than anybody else. I'm like, could they maybe turn it out just like, we knew what was going to happen in Freedom Hall. As soon as Kentucky and Louisville both advanced, we knew what was going to be going on. We knew, 12, 13, 14,000 people. Would Iowa State in La Ames or Iowa City, because wrestling is what it is up there, maybe, I wonder if they could do the same thing. I was like, who could do what we just did? Because we already knew what it was going to be. I said, Iowa. Maybe if Iowa had a tournament. And that's what got me to thinking. And so,
to answer your question is yes, because the University of Iowa now has a wrestling-only arena. And I think it's like 7,000 or 8,000 people. Like, it's wrestling only.
Okay, wow.
Because they got tired of sharing Carver Hawkeye Arena with basketball.
Wow.
And I think Iowa State, they trying to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, they take it seriously here. Like their own wrestling venue.
And so if some of the 2012, 2014 Iowa team and, Iowa State got dudes from 2013, the wrestling might not be as quality as it was, just like the basketball. You had them old legs at the end of the Elam ending, but you have a similar setup. And I'm just thinking Iowa would probably show out up there if it was hey, these dudes were just here 10 years ago and now they're back. And they're wrestling against Iowa State, which is little brother. They're real similar we're similar in that regard. Them and us, basketball, wrestling, and
But yeah, because Iowa State has 8 national championships in wrestling, like we do in basketball. Yeah. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Iowa has 24.
See, that's
and they won like 10 or 11 straight. Like that is insane.
Yeah. So anybody else would be proud of their 8, but they right down the road from Iowa, so they can't even really.
And that's the problem, because on its own, Iowa State, I think Oklahoma State might be up there in the conversation, but basically you got 2 top programs, 2 top 5 programs. In Iowa State, they've got a pretty nice resume. Their only problem is they're in the state with what Iowa has done.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Louisville men's basketball. You're not going to hear me talk about, I see some people, are they a top 10 program? Yeah. I think once you start counting, there's 7 or 8 all time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The problem is they're 70 miles from number 1.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Auburn, Bo Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
They got the kick 6. They've won some championships.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how far apart Auburn and Tuscaloosa is, but that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that, you can be that good and get overshadowed.
Yeah.
It's like we talk about with NC State.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to men's basketball, you forget they've got 2 championships. Like
at least
they got the 83 team and the 74 team,
mm-hmm.
and they've had dudes come. But you don't think about it because Duke and Carolina take up all the oxygen.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the downside. But they're little brother, so that's why when I moved here, I was like, look, we Cyclone or Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Hawks. I'm with it. I'm with the big brother. I'm with it. That's my old thing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I'm rooting for the land grant institution because that's where I matriculated from. So I will rock with the Hawkeyes.
Transition right on into this black and yellow up here.
That's right. Hey, I got some Iowa stuff now. I got the BJ Armstrong era shorts.
Oh yeah.
From 1990. Yeah. BJ Armstrong. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't realize till I guess when I was like, he did go to Iowa. Like, okay.
Yeah, because I had no idea at the time.
Yeah.
And even when he was with the Bulls, I don't remember. 6'6" from North Carolina, but I never knew where BJ went the whole time he was playing for the Bulls.
Well, he didn't start, so we didn't.
This little baby face dude come out and hits a few threes, and then he go back and sit down, and then but I never knew that's about him. But oh well, good stuff, man. I don't know what happened to our guy Cam. We try to get him back some other time, but I was definitely going to get his thoughts on, of course, Pope and his teammate, and he always said he wasn't as big as trash, trash talking, and still would have to get his thoughts on going up against Louisville and all that. But we'll reschedule that and get him back on here. So.
I was glad, as you were talking about, equating it to Iowa State. You're not going to get that every place. A Monday night in July, players that, who was the most recent I think Sestina was the most recent player.
Well, Brendan Canada just was on last year's team.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
But he
you know what I mean.
Significant playing time. It probably is Nate.
Yeah.
You got the twins. You got Bledsoe, Willie, Daniel Orton. Daniel Orton was ready to break somebody in half Monday night too. He's ready. He said,
I can't believe we got to have think pieces on whether or not spitting on somebody. I mean, look, that's a butt whipping where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
You spit on somebody
Mm-hmm.
and then try to frame it like, oh, we're going to let tempers flare. Come on, man.
That's what flared the temper right there.
And again, it's all ridiculous. My only pushback, I'm not saying that Kentucky players are fans are above the fray. No, we participate in it. I love a good L's down. There's a picture of me 2018, 2019, covering the football game. I'm at midfield on the Cardinal logo, L's down.
Iconic.
Yes, I participate in that.
Iconic.
Yes, I did it. My Louisville fan, you know when it gets close to the game and I put that picture on Facebook, Louisville fan like, oh, that's disrespectful. Shut up. Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done it regardless, but it's a good memory because that's when Benny and them was like 50-12 or whatever it was. Like, if we had lost the game, maybe I don't do that, but maybe I still would. But the point is, I'm gonna put my L's down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I'm not saying that we're blameless. All I'm saying is, Louisville fans, get off your high horse. We're in this muck together.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember last year's game during halftime when I think he a distant cousin, Barry Brown, is yelling at the band. You remember that clip?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on, but Louisville's band's yelling at him and he's yelling back. And I follow a bunch of Louisville fans. There was a whole bunch of he trash and blah, 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 blah. And what did he do? He took the opening kickoff 110 yards to the house. That, my friends, is standing on business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk to your band. And now I'm going to run through it. Can't nobody touch me.
It's right.
That's standing on business. That ain't just trash talking. And so I got some of my Louisville friends upset. Oh, he trash talking. Baby. The most famous person from my hometown, Muhammad Ali, talks so much trash. He's telling people, I'm going to get him in the third round, and then he would go get him in the third round. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me that you're so sensitive to trash talk when that's what our guy is known for. They've got these Ali themed uniforms that they wear. And they that's part of it. That's what Ali did. Was trash talk. Did it go too far? Sometimes. But that's what he do. You can't be new to this. Mm-hmm. So again, standing on business is talking trash to your band at halftime. They go out on march, they come off the field, and the next time you touch the ball, 110 yards, go touchdown. That's standing on business.
Yes, it is.
It's like when Debo said, can't none of y'all tackle me on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. This is y'all's funeral. I'm wearing black. And I'm also scoring 3 touchdowns. Man. That to me is staying on business. That's not just trash talking. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff. Again, Cowboys and 49ers. A lot of Cowboys fans was upset because George Kittle had that T-shirt on that said F Dallas. And all he did was score 3 touchdowns, and he never got tackled.
Yeah.
That is standing on business. That is what this is about. If you're going to yell at the band, go score a touchdown. Now, the thing is, had Louisville won, it would have been different with the L's down. Look at y'all, the L's down, obsessed with us. Mm-hmm. Now, and this is what the Rick Moses thing, like, you got to win with grace. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because you're talking about post-game, Sestina and Willie Cauley-Stein was still throwing L's down. He said it was L's down every day. He's like, we got to be better. Why? Man. It is just this simple. If you don't want Kentucky people to throw L's down on your home court, there's a simple thing you can do. It's called beating them.
Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do.
You don't want to see it. Beat them. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It is. That is how you answer the bell. It's not by spitting and fighting after the game. That's loser talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what losers do. Because it was one of those games. There was the fight between Kentucky and Louisville. I think it was when Lamar Jackson, they scored it was like 50-10. Louisville won. There was a trash can involved. Throw your L's up. You deserve that. But I'm like, are we rivals or not, man?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Him and Jordan. Was Jordan Jones? Or?
Yeah, it was a back and forth, all that kind of stuff. Hey, look, they throw the L's up when they win.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Granted, again,
we better do a better job of taking it too. If we can't get in our feelings if they throwing them up after a win.
Right. If you come to our house and you win, throw them up, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But don't be upset. And that's the thing that kills me when teams lose. Because, is there a way to win? Yes. Is there a way to lose? Yes. But my whole thing is y'all get caught up in the ridiculousness of it. I've seen a lot of SEC teams mad when the Go Big Blue chant breaks out in their home arena. All you got to do is win.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Or buy up your allotment of tickets.
Like you don't want to hear it. Your team should probably win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kansas fans. Now, they had the right idea a couple years ago when we took them to the woodshed there in the field house. Go Big Blue chants broke out. They were like, this is what happens. This is the cost of doing business. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Hey, well said, man. Well said. Another fun episode as always. Back to do it again next week.
I'll be another year older, so we'll see how it goes.
That's right. Come Monday.
Monday the 5th, because like I told you before we started, this is a pretty good week, man. You got Tom Brady 8-3, Obama 8-4. This began TB
8-5. Wow,
8-5, baby. That's a pretty good run. I'm still the best TB born in the first part of August of 1977. I don't care how many Super Bowl rings you got. He ain't better than me.
Yeah, and how many facelifts he got? He better than you.
That's right. With all that TB12 stuff he doing.
Avocado ice cream or whatever else he got going on.
Yeah. Woo, buddy.
Well, man, enjoyed it. Have a good week. Enjoy your summer.
Yeah.
We inching towards football. What's the Final Four? We got Jared Sellinger, another name from the past, against LaFamilia Friday night. So only Aaron Kraft was there. But oh well.
So Sellinger's playing?
Yeah, they're playing the Ohio State team Friday. And Sellinger's, they was interviewing him before Kentucky came on Monday.
I know
okay.
I know he man.
He looked a little thinner.
The thing about Sellinger is I forget that Ohio State played in the 2012 Final Four. That is a blind spot for me. Like, I honestly have to think about them being in the Final Four. I don't, because at the time, I was like, I'm not even, in 2012, I was like, okay, it's Kentucky, Louisville. That was the focus. And then we played Kansas, and I'm like, I know Kansas had to play somebody. Who was it? I got it. Look, I showed myself, because some Ohio State fan, this has been a while ago, was like, I'm like, when do y'all even make a Final Four? Greg Oden? He's like, no, the same time y'all did. I'm like, when? You're like 2012. I was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of I didn't worry about it.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the Kansas and Ohio State game.
I don't remember.
Because bizarrely, we played first. Kentucky Louisville played the first semifinal.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, woo. People, we was just like, it was just because I don't need them playing in the tournament no more. I'm getting older. My heart ain't strong as it used to be. And I'm saying that is my team that wins. So I can't imagine what Louisville fans going through, getting all,
Yes.
I mean, think about it. I was thinking about this, Monday at the TBT. There's a bunch of people in Louisville. They got the best Louisville card stuff on, and maybe they got the kids face painted, and they all this kind of stuff. And they just done sent them home. Boy, that's rough going, man.
It was leaving in the third quarter.
That is rough going. Oh, that stinks.
Uh-huh.
But always good, man. We'll do it again. Always good. We're gonna watch some more Olympics. We're gonna do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. That's it.
501, baby.
Yes, for sure. That's right.
501 Blues, man.
Absolutely. We enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah.
You missed it now. It's where you get your podcast, or be up on Roku as well. So hit the replay and join us next week. Football season getting closer. We're gonna take a little week off one of these weeks. We'll let y'all know when that is as well. But everybody stay safe and enjoy the rest of your summer. TBU and Kate, enjoy the Olympics tonight. We're gonna see what happens. We'll be back next week. Cats Talk Wednesday. BS3 Network. We out of here, y'all.